is full of bizarre moments that make you question reality itself. You know that feeling when you hear something so unbelievable that you wonder if it's straight out of a movie. Now imagine seeing it unfold right before your eyes. From a whale leading a rescue mission to an elephant chilling in a corner, smoking its sorrows away. Get ready to witness the impossible. Here are 20 unbelievable moments that you don't want to miss. Mysterious spinning statue. Something strange happened at the Manchester Museum in 2014, perplexing both employees and tourists. A centuries-old Egyptian statue in the museum's collection began to spin mysteriously while on exhibit. The statue, known as Nebsu, was observed to shift slightly every day, which perplexed curator Campbell Price and his crew. What made it even stranger was that Price was the only person with access to the display area, but the statue continued to rotate. Price and his crew were intrigued and decided to set up a time-lapse camera to catch the occurrence. What they discovered was both fascinating and perplexing. The statue rotated throughout the day, but at dark, it had come to a complete halt. The mystery deepened, sparking speculation of an ancient curse at play. Despite the numerous theories swirling around, no one could explain the movement at first. One day, after a few hours of an empty gallery, the statue had turned a full 45 degrees. It seemed to defy logic and reason, leaving everyone to wonder what could be causing this strange movement. 150 feet jump. Devin Stratton, an accomplished skier, survived a harrowing fall that left both him and spectators startled. Devin was skiing with a friend in Utah when he made the fatal decision to follow in the footsteps of another skier. Not known to him, this trail went directly to a dangerous place with a fatal drop. Devin plummeted 150 feet when he crashed over the edge. "I thought I was dead for sure," he later recalled, realizing his fall as he plunged through the air. During the fearful descent, he began to pray, hoping for a miracle that would save him from impending death. Miraculously, when Devin finally hit the ground, he was not only alive, but completely unscathed. "When I landed, and I was still alive, I was pretty stoked," he shared, still processing the sheer luck, or perhaps fate, that had saved him.
My head hurts a little, and my ribs from the back. I think I'm good.
The slow-motion footage of his descent clearly shows the sheer height and violence of the fall, making his survival all the more extraordinary. Devin, still in awe, described the event as more than just a stroke of luck. "It was definitely a miracle," he reflected, crediting a higher power with his remarkable survival. Afterward, Devin spent hours searching the snow for his lost ski before heading back to safety, deeply grateful for his second chance at life.
Thank you.
Lion saves a wildebeest. Lions are the African savanna's apex predators, known for their hunting skills. However, nature occasionally surprises us with surprising gestures of compassion. In a rare and breathtaking event seen on tape, a lion disregarded its instincts to save a defenseless juvenile wildebeest from impending death. Separated from its family, the terrified wildebeest was encircled by a gang of hyenas preparing to hunt. The scared animal raced in circles, anxiously attempting to avoid the relentless attackers. The hyenas, secure in their tactics, bided their time, knowing the wildebeest would eventually tire. But just as hope began to fade, a lion emerged from the shadows. Initially, the hyenas froze, unsure of its intentions. Would the lion claim the wildebeest as its prize? Instead, in an extraordinary twist, the lion attacked the lead hyena with ferocious power, scattering the pack. The hyenas, outmatched, retreated, leaving their intended prey unharmed. What happened next was even more unbelievable. As the lion rested in the shade, the wildebeest approached cautiously and nestled beside it. Against all odds, the lion remained calm, treating the young animal as if it were one of its own. Low-flying plane. On a clear January day in 2019, residents of Nashville, Tennessee, were startled by an unusual sight: a military plane swooping unsettlingly low above the city.
Look, he's right over. Oh God! Wow! Is that a road over?
Did it crash?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
It appeared to skim roofs, coming so near to office windows that astonished employees could almost feel the vibrations. For half an hour, the plane circled repeatedly, leaving people wondering if they were in danger. Hundreds of calls inundated local authorities, causing panic. Was there an emergency? Is there an accident waiting to happen? Speculation ran wild. However, when the dust settled, the truth was far less dramatic, but as frustrating.
Golly.
He was right above what?
He's right there.
The maneuver was part of a training exercise for a planned flyover to celebrate the inauguration of the new governor. However, with no prior warning given to the public and a flight path that many considered reckless, the exercise stirred more fear than admiration. To add to the irony, the actual flyover event never happened, and it was cancelled due to bad weather.
Is this where he was last time?
Yep.
Wow. He was way too close. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Whales' unexpected rescue. Imagine swimming peacefully in the open ocean when suddenly a massive creature approaches, and what happens next defies all expectations. Nan Hauser, a biologist studying whales in the Cook Islands,
Lifting me up out of the water and just rolling around with me on his body.
had such an encounter, a moment that would leave even the most experienced researchers bewildered. At first, the large humpback whale seemed to simply nudge Hauer with its closed mouth, pushing her gently through the water. But then things took a more unusual turn. The whale snuggled her beneath its fin and lifted her onto its back, leaving her perplexed and scared. After all, these whales can be gigantic, and Hauser was well aware of their incredible power. It wasn't until Hauer looked about that she discovered something that would completely alter the backdrop of the incident.
They have this incredible behavior where they will rush into a situation and save another species.
A tiger shark was swimming nearby, adding a new level of danger. Hauser, now scared for her life, began to suspect that the whale was more than just curious. It was attempting to protect her from the shark. While this behavior was unusual, it is not unprecedented. Whales have been known to display protective behaviors, not only toward their own species, but even toward other animals. After reviewing the footage, Hauer is convinced that the whale was trying to save her life. Lightning versus tree. They say lightning never strikes twice, but sometimes once is enough to cause havoc. Guests at Bryson Lake Lodge in Quebec, Canada, were advised to stay indoors as a violent storm approached. The air was thick with expectation, and the lowering sky crackled with excitement. Cameras were set up to catch the storm's passing, providing an apparently safe view of nature's raw strength from behind sealed walls. What happened next was anything from ordinary. A brilliant brightness shattered the sky, followed by an earth-shaking explosion. In an instant, a bolt of lightning struck a huge pine tree in the courtyard. The impact was explosive shards of wood shot through the air like missiles. Debris rained down, and the tree's mighty canopy crashed onto a nearby building, damaging its roof. Inside their rooms, guests held their breath, safe but shaken. No one was hurt, but the scene outside was a sobering reminder of nature's power to surprise. If you thought this lightning strike was an incredible show of nature's fury, wait until you hear about a bizarre storm event that left even seasoned meteorologists scratching their heads. Truck versus tornado. A wild week ended on a surprising note for 16-year-old Riley Lyons, an Austin teen who had a life-changing experience with a tornado. Riley's story began in Elgin, just east of Austin, when a tornado ripped through the area on Monday. In footage that quickly went viral, his red Chevy truck was violently picked up by the twister, spun around, and then miraculously dropped back onto its wheels. Despite the terrifying experience, Riley drove away unscathed. Riley had been heading home from a job interview at a local restaurant when the tornado struck. While his 10-year-old Chevy truck was totaled, the teen's fortune didn't end there.
I appreciate everything, and like I said it multiple times, don't let small things bring you down.
In an incredible twist of fate, Riley was given a brand new Chevrolet Silverado. The generous gesture came from Bruce Lowry Chevrolet in Fort Worth, where Riley received the keys to his new truck and $15,000 in cash. Makeup during an earthquake. Makeup tutorials are a pretty common type of internet content, and creators are continuously looking for new methods to fascinate their audiences. Even in this overcrowded arena, surprises can occur. On 8 July 2019, beauty blogger Ali J unintentionally captured one of the most unexpected twists imaginable. During a typical cosmetic session, she found herself in the midst of a natural disaster.
And that little top part looks like a heart on your lip.
The video begins like any other instructional. Ali J converses with her audience while carefully applying her lipstick, completely poised and in control. The room suddenly begins to vibrate. At first, she pauses, unsure of what's happening, but within moments, the shaking intensifies. Her lipstick wavers and her expression shifts from calm concentration to wide-eyed panic as reality hits. An earthquake is underway. The tremor lasts mere seconds. But the chaos it brings is evident in her disrupted tutorial and shaken demeanor. Thankfully, Ali J emerged unscathed, and her camera captured the surreal moment. The odds of experiencing something like this, let alone recording it live, are almost impossible to fathom. Mystery of smoking elephant. In the forests of southern India, something strange happened. A wild elephant looked to be smoking. In a 48-second video, the gigantic animal takes up something with its trunk, places it in its mouth, and then exhales a jet of smoke. The scene, which was filmed for the first time in history, has left wildlife specialists confused. What could account for this strange behavior? Some suspect the elephant ate ash-covered charcoal, which animals utilize to expel toxins or ease their stomachs. By blowing out the smoke, it could have been releasing ash or dust. But no one is entirely sure why it was doing this, making it a mystery that's hard to solve. The sight of an elephant smoking in the middle of the forest feels almost magical, like a character from a storybook coming to life. Researchers continue to study the video, hoping to uncover whether this is a natural behavior or a strange one-time event. Lightning meets fireworks.
Oh my gosh, what was that? That was awesome.
No one would believe it if it wasn't filmed. A breathtaking collision between human celebration and nature's raw power. On the 4th of July in Oklahoma, the night sky became the stage for an electrifying spectacle.
Lightning struck over Brandon Town Center, and the collision of those man-made plus the natural fireworks.
Fireworks lit up the darkness in a kaleidoscope of colors, their bursts of reds and golds painting the heavens. Then, as if the universe had joined the celebration, lightning streaked across the sky. It wove its brilliance through the fireworks' glow. The fight was both enthralling and bizarre. Light explosions made by humans danced with nature's fury. It created a chaotic yet beautiful harmony of colors and energy. Lightning struck the beauty of fireworks. It was more than a coincidence. It felt like a cosmic drama. If you thought this was nature's greatest trick, just wait till you see what stunned the whole Japanese population. the sinkhole that stopped a city. In November 2016, mayhem ensued in a Japanese city as a massive sinkhole swallowed a portion of a busy thoroughfare. What began as two minor collapses quickly combined into a 98-foot-wide chasm, an unexpected scar on the metropolitan landscape. Miraculously, no one was wounded during the collapse, although the mayhem was widespread. Power failures left areas in darkness, water and gas supplies were affected, and an elderly woman apparently stumbled on darkened stairs, becoming an indirect victim of this strange event. Investigators pointed fingers at neighboring subterranean railwork, assuming that was the trigger. Sinkholes are often seen as freak occurrences, but they're far from random. These depressions form when soluble rocks, like limestone or gypsum, erode underground, creating invisible voids over years, sometimes decades. Yet this wasn't nature's handiwork alone. Man-made activities like drilling, construction, and illegal waste dumping can provoke these geological disasters, turning small vulnerabilities into massive urban failures. Whale's unexpected splash. A calm whale-watching trip took an exhilarating turn in this unexpected encounter. A group of passengers enjoying a peaceful day at sea got exactly what they came for, a whale sighting. But what followed was far more thrilling than anyone anticipated. As they cruised along, a humpback whale suddenly leaped out of the water, reaching much closer to the boat than expected. The gigantic beast swooped into the air, dumping a shower of water on the boat and soaking everyone on board. It was a breathtaking display of nature's power, but the aftermath was far from dry, soaking the thrilled passengers. Humpback whales can reach 46 to 56 feet in length and weigh up to 44 tons. The whale in this video was still a youngster, but it demonstrated what a fully grown adult could do. Consider the splash a full-sized humpback could make. While the spectacle was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these fortunate travelers, they certainly did not anticipate such a wet and wild moment. Fighter jet races. Ryan Melville, a seasoned Australian Air Force pilot, is no stranger to pushing limits, especially when showcasing the raw power of military jets. Known for his jaw-dropping aerial displays, Melville took center stage in 2017 at the Gold Coast 600, an annual car race held on a temporary street circuit in Queensland, Australia. But this time, the spotlight wasn't on the cars. Instead of roaring engines on the ground, spectators were treated to a high-octane performance in the skies. Melville, flying a fighter jet, didn't merely skim the azure waters of the Gold Coast. He handled the jet with surgical accuracy, following a path that appeared to replicate the race course below. The cockpit footage is just amazing, depicting quick spins and nerve-wracking maneuvers that place the jet dangerously close to towering metropolitan skyscrapers. Onlookers were astounded as the sleek jet maneuvered past the metropolitan landscape. For the two crew members aboard, it must have been an adrenaline-fueled experience like no other. Skydiver faints midair. Skydiving is a thrill-seeker's dream, but undeniably risky. Jumping from thousands of feet above ground demands unshakable trust in your parachute. However, even the most prepared skydiver faces the unexpected. Now, imagine midair chaos, a collision that leaves you unconscious, hurtling uncontrollably toward Earth. That's exactly what happened to Ben Pigeon in 2014. During a routine jump, Ben collided with another diver, the impact rendering him unconscious. With no way to deploy his parachute, the situation turned dire. Hurtling through the sky at terminal velocity, Ben's survival seemed impossible. In a sport where seconds count, he was entirely at the mercy of gravity and luck. Fortunately, Ben wasn't alone. A quick-thinking friend spotted the unfolding disaster and intervened. With remarkable skill and composure, the fellow skydiver maneuvered midair to reach Ben and pull his ripcord. The parachute deployed just in time, saving him from an otherwise certain tragedy. Close encounter with a bear. Captured on a home security camera, this video shows a truly terrifying moment for a young boy when he came face to face with a massive black bear right on his own street. 7-year-old Huxley was happily riding his scooter when the bear spotted him and charged towards him. Frozen in place, Huxley stood still, staring at the bear as it approached. In response, the bear paused and locked eyes with him. Fortunately, a quick-thinking neighbor spotted the scene and rushed to help. The neighbor raised their arms, trying to make themselves appear larger, and moved towards the bear, forcing it to retreat behind a nearby car. The bear hesitated, but the neighbor continued to chase it away until the bear finally scampered off into the distance. Huxley had been taught to stay calm if he ever encountered a bear, which helped him avoid panicking during the ordeal. The encounter serves as a reminder of the essential safety tips for such situations. Stay calm, make yourself appear as large as possible, and avoid running, as fleeing could provoke a chase. After all, being pursued by a bear is not an experience anyone would willingly sign up for. A climber's nightmare. The Arctic is difficult for the faint of heart, but even the most seasoned adventurers were unprepared for the turmoil that lay ahead. 2 daring climbers began their ascent on a massive iceberg, unaware that their adventure was about to turn deadly. Each step appeared secure, each handhold firm, until nature chose differently. As they ascended higher, the iceberg shuddered ominously, its massive weight shifting in the frigid sea. What began as a slight crack beneath them quickly blossomed into a full-fledged calamity. The iceberg began to roll, its towering mass tumbling at terrible speeds. In a frenzied race against time, the climbers tried to reach safety, but their efforts were insufficient. The iceberg's deadly flip sent them plunging into the freezing Arctic Sea, tossed like rag dolls by its immense force. Miraculously, their nearby support boat raced to the rescue, pulling them from the glacial waters just as hypothermia loomed. The footage, shared by legendary adventurer Mike Horn, offered a stark reminder of nature's unpredictable power. Horn, reflecting on the harrowing incident, called it a metaphor for life's challenges. We all have icebergs to climb. If you thought surviving this Arctic ordeal was unbelievable, wait till you hear about the billion-dollar disaster that sank a giant of the seas. Billion-dollar disaster. On 13 January 2012, the Costa Concordia set out on a journey that would forever change maritime history. What started off as a typical 7-day voyage took an unexpected turn when Captain Francesco Schettino made the fateful decision to depart from the planned course. His intention was to cruise closer to the island of Giglio for a better look. What came next was unfathomable. The ship collided with an underwater boulder, rupturing its hull and causing the big vessel to capsize just off the coast. The ship partially sank, causing panic. A frantic 6-hour rescue operation managed to save thousands. And if you thought that was shocking, the captain's actions were even more jaw-dropping. He abandoned the ship at the first sign of danger, leaving passengers and crew to fend for themselves. His decision not only sealed his fate with a 16-year prison sentence for manslaughter, but also revealed the fragile trust in maritime leadership. Declared unsalvageable, the Costa Concordia became the focus of one of the world's largest and most expensive salvage operations. After 5 painstaking years, the wreck was refloated using giant flotation tanks and towed 200 miles to Genoa. If you thought this disaster was unbelievable, wait until you see another expensive disaster. Rocket explosion. Rocket launches are usually a show, drawing large crowds anxious to see humanity's progress toward the stars. However, as exciting as these events can be, disaster is always a possibility. On 28 October 2014, a crowd gathered on Wallops Island, Virginia, to see the launch of the Antares rocket. It was to deliver vital supplies to the International Space Station. Initially, everything appeared to be flawless.
Stay with me.
The rocket rose gently, its engines shining brightly against the evening sky. But just seconds later, something went horribly wrong. A critical failure in the first stage propulsion system caused the rocket to lose its trajectory. The Antares began to plummet back to Earth. It exploded in a fireball that shook the ground for miles. The blast shockwave could be felt 20 miles away. The fiery wreckage lit up the night sky as emergency crews worked to contain the fire. Though the payload, valued at tens of millions of dollars, was utterly destroyed, miraculously, no injuries were reported among the launch team or spectators. Dam collapse. Dams are feats of engineering. They hold back immense forces, but when they fail, the consequences can be devastating. Brazil's Brumadinho Tailings Dam, near an iron ore mine, was a stark reminder of the dangers of ignoring safety. This dam wasn't holding water. It contained mining waste, a mix of hazardous byproducts. On 25 January 2019, just after midday, the unthinkable happened. The dam's structure failed under pressure. It released 500 million cubic feet of mud and debris. Slurry swept through the countryside with deadly force. It devoured mining offices, homes, farms, and everything in its path. The devastation was quick and harsh, with no time for locals to flee. Beyond the human cost, the environmental impact was tremendous. Chemicals from the garbage leached into the land and rivers. They damaged hundreds of miles of waterways and scarred the area. This was not Brazil's first warning. Another dam nearby had fallen just a few years prior. Elephant launches bus. A large bull elephant violently attacked a bus at Pilanesberg National Park near Johannesburg, South Africa. The bus carried safari passengers. The video footage captures the entire scope of the frightening tragedy. The massive 11-foot elephant used its huge tusks to lift the truck. Then it smashed it down with incredible force, not once, but twice. Passengers yelled in fear as the driver and guide urgently attempted to quiet the animal. Amid the chaos, the guide was heard shouting and striking the side of the bus in an effort to get the elephant to move. "Move! Move!" he called. But the giant was relentless. It stomped its feet and charged the vehicle. The tourists, who had been eager to begin their safari, found themselves at the mercy of the powerful creature. After 2 bone-rattling impacts, the driver quickly tried to reverse, fearing another charge. His hands pressed together in desperation. He murmured, "No, enough, enough," hoping to escape the wrath of the elephant. Miraculously, the driver managed to steer the bus just in time as the elephant advanced. While the ordeal left the passengers shaken, fortunately, no injuries were reported. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.
Eventually, there is enough distance between the animal and the vehicle, and the elephant loses interest.